Good morning. Thank you for joining me for this morning for a little bit of just being, a little bit of nothing to do or achieve or hold on to or push away, but just being as you are, as we are together right now. And there's so many ways that we can practice this just being, so many different parts of our experience that we can be with. So many ways of being with all of it at once. And this morning, the door that we will go through into this room of just being is mindful movement. You may have done this before or not. It's of course entirely optional. So if you have any concerns physically about moving your body in certain ways, please allow that sensitivity to override any suggestion I make. Do what feels right for you. You might be able to do some of the movements and not others. It's perfectly possible just to sit and imagine them as you hear them. If you are doing the movements, there's an invitation to find a kind of space, a creative space that's somewhere in between not challenging your body at all and pushing it too far. We would try to bring to mindful movement the same attitude of acceptance and non-striving as we would when sitting down or lying down and practicing mindfulness in that way. So exploring the edges as you stretch, but not pushing to the point of pain or possible injury, which is counterproductive as much as anything else. So just finding that middle ground, exploring it, moving up to the edge, but not trying to push through it. So if you're choosing to do the movements, just coming to a standing position now. The feet may be hip, shoulder width apart. The arms hanging loosely by the sides. And as you breathe in, allowing the arms to come up by the sides and up above the head. And then as you breathe out, just stretching the fingertips up, maybe looking up and feeling the stretch down the arms and the rib cage and any other part of the body that you can feel as you do this. And then slowly, slowly bringing the arms back down by the sides. And then as you breathe in, just bringing up one arm, as if you are picking a piece of fruit from a tree. And just reaching out with that arm. If it's the right arm, you might feel the left heel coming off the ground, or vice versa. And continuing to breathe in this position, Feeling the stretch down the arm and the right side of the body. And as you breathe out, just bringing the arm slowly back down. And then repeating this with the other arm. The left arm if it was the right before. Just reaching out to pick a piece of fruit from a nearby tree, as it were. Allowing the opposite heel to come off the ground slowly. And feeling the stretch down the left side of the body. The left foot pressing into the floor. And bringing the arm back down. And maybe just closing the eyes for a moment. Feeling the body standing. It's an immense feat of evolution that we are able to support ourselves on the soles of our feet, a relatively small surface area given the size of our body. And it takes young children at least a year normally to be able to do this. So perhaps just marveling at our ability to stand if you are standing. And as you next breathe in, bringing both arms up above the head, eyes open or closed as you choose, and locking the thumbs together above the head. And as you breathe out, just leaning over to the side, keeping the head between the arms and leaning over the right hip. And feeling the stretch down the left side of the body. And then coming back to the center. And leaning over to the other side. Head between the arms. Feet pressing into the floor. Stretch down one side of the body. Again, just exploring this creative edge. Not pushing too far, but feeling the stretch. Coming back to center. And slowly allowing the arms to fall back down. And we're going to stretch out the shoulders now. And we can do this in 4 movements. So bringing the shoulders up to the ears. And then, as if we're trying to touch the shoulders together in front of the body. And then allowing them to fall. And then trying to touch them together at the back of the body. And then up towards the ears. Together at the front. Falling down. Together at the back. And at some point you can change this direction. Continuing to breathe here. Continuing to be aware of your breath as best you can. Maybe allowing the knees to bend slightly. And coming to rest. And now we'll stretch out the neck. So bringing the neck to the front by moving the chin close to the chest. And then the left ear over the left shoulder. And then moving the neck to the back. And then the right ear over the right shoulder, just as much as feels okay for your neck. And then the chin back to the chest. And just repeating this in your own time. You might breathe in for the first half of the circle and breathe out for the second. And then at some point you can change direction. And then allow the head to come back to a central position. Maybe closing the eyes once again. And reconnecting with the sensation of the breath. Remembering that if the breath gets you tangled up somehow, you can always move the awareness to a different part of the body, such as the contact between the feet and the floor. And we'll do a forward bend now. Again, taking care to do only what feels okay for your body. You will know that better than anybody else. So as you breathe in, bringing the arms up to the sides and over the head. And then as you breathe out, bending the body forward so that you can just hang. The arms hanging loosely. Bend the knees slightly. As you breathe in, you will feel the rib cage against the stomach, most likely. As you breathe out, just allowing yourself to sink a little bit lower. Allowing the neck to be loose, the shoulders to be relaxed. Letting go of any muscle tension that isn't needed here. With each out breath, just sinking a little bit. And feeling the stretch wherever you feel it. Backs of the legs perhaps. Fronts of the legs perhaps. Allowing the neck to be loose. And tuning into the breath again. And coming up in your own time, starting with the lower back. And just straightening the lower back, maybe pausing at some point midway, just to allow the blood pressure to adjust. And then straightening up the middle portion of the back, and then the upper back, and finally the head. Maybe closing the eyes again. Just opening the awareness to receive all the sensations of the body, from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. And just breathing here for a few moments together. Allowing the awareness to rest in the body. And now, opening the eyes if they've been closed, and shifting the weight over to just the left leg. And as you breathe in, bringing the arms out to the sides. And with the weight on the left leg, seeing if you can raise the right leg out to the side, just as much as feels okay. And staying balanced here, choosing a point that you can allow the eyes to rest on to support your balance. And feeling the stretch, feeling the work of the left leg to keep you balanced. The tension in the right leg and the arms. And breathing here, breathing at this limit. Seeing if you can relax into this position, even when there's muscle tension. Can you allow a softness? Can you allow a just being? Doesn't matter how far up the leg is. Doesn't matter how easy or difficult you may be finding this. And then in your own time, coming back to standing. And shifting the weight over to the right leg. And repeating. So picking a point. Perhaps as you breathe out, you might lift the left leg slightly. And then in your own time, coming back. Closing the eyes once again. Riding the wave of the breath. The in-breath up to the peak. And the out-breath down to the trough. As best you can, rising and falling with each breath. Letting the knees be slightly bent. Feeling the contact between the soles of the feet and the floor. And in your own time, coming back to a sitting position. And we'll just sit together for a few minutes. So making yourself comfortable. Choosing a posture that's alert, but also relaxed. Let's practice a short 3-step breathing space. So in the first stage, simply acknowledging what is here. The busyness of the mind, however busy or not it is. the sensations of the body, any emotions, and the environment around you. Just bearing witness to whatever this moment is. Letting go of any need to make it a certain way. A radical acceptance of this moment right now. And then in the second stage, gathering up the attention, choosing a bodily sensation to focus on, one that's easy to sense, breath or hands or feet or something else. Letting everything else be where it is and moving up close to this chosen focused sensation. Coming back to it again and again when the mind inevitably wanders. Remember that we can come back for just one moment, just a snapshot of full awareness. We don't have to sustain awareness indefinitely. We can keep coming back for one moment, and then another moment, and then another moment. Whatever happens in between those moments. And then in the third stage, expanding the awareness out once again, blooming like a flower, unfurling, to once again take in all that is here, allowing it all to be here in the same space, observing it and letting it be. Today's poem is called St. Francis and the Sow by Galway Kinnell. The bud stands for all things, even for the things that don't flower. For everything flowers from within, of self-blessing, though sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness, to put a hand on the brow of the flower and retell it in words and in touch. It is lovely, until it flowers from within, of self-blessing. As St. Francis, put his hand on the creased forehead of the sow and told her in words and in touch blessings of earth on the sow. And the sow began remembering all down her thick length, from the earthen snout all the way through the fodder and slops to the spiritual curl of the tail, from the hard spininess, spiked out spine, down through the great broken heart, to the sheer blue milken dreaminess, spurting and shuddering, from the 14 mouths sucking and blowing beneath them. The long, perfect loveliness of sow. Thank you for joining me this morning. I wish you a good day, and I will be back at the same time on Monday. Take care, and thank you.